Alright guys, welcome to another video, Western Sharpies RC. Really excited to share with you guys this part 2 here of my Tamiya Flatbed that I picked up a couple weeks ago off a buddy of mine. And I pulled it in for an overhaul or a retrofit or whatever you want to call it. And I went around and I gave it some really nice subtle upgrades to kind of give it more of a scale look. So I thought it turned out really good, with the exception of one thing that I wish I did a little different, but I'll explain that in a second. But for the most part, it turned out really good. I probably put about 20 hours into this thing with stuff I had for the most part kicking around. I didn't really want to spend any money. So things that I had laying around in my parts box, I pulled out and managed to make stuff with. So I thought it turned out really good. So I documented all the footage of the build as I kind of went along. Not the greatest footage, guys, like typical of me. A lot of shakiness, a lot of out of focus stuff, but I figured, you know what, I'll add it anyway for the guys that are more interested in seeing how I put some of the stuff together. You'll get the idea for the most part if you watch some of it. Any questions, comments, leave down below. I'm happy to explain how it all went together, but I'll try to go over everything one by one in a little more detail so you guys can see it up close. But quickly, I just want to mention the scale, the cargo that I had sitting on the deck at the beginning of the video. I've been working on those and they're turning out really good. They're kind of like granite slabs on some A-frames, which you'd see kind of getting hauled around on a flatbed. And they're turning out really good. So I've added them, or I will be adding them to my Facebook page, to the inventory that I have on my little business that I got going on over there. So if you want to check that out, there's a link down below. Western Sharpies scale accessories. Have a look at all the other bits and bobs I've built and got for sale on there. But anyway, for the most part, guys, it's just going to be this trailer here I'm going to talk about in this video. Really happy with this thing. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Turned out really good. So basically, it's just a stock Tamiya 1/14 scale trailer that they offer. If you've seen the actual stock one, it has these stakes running up the side of it with the chains kind of going across, which I don't really like. I mean, you don't see typically those kinds of trailers, at least not this part of the world. Maybe more of a European thing. But I drove truck for many years, and the flatbeds we hauled around kind of looked more like this, right? Mind you, this one does have the Tamiya one has a panel that sits right in the front, I guess, to stop the cargo from flying off forward. But I didn't like that either, so I mean, it didn't have it, but I wouldn't put it on anyway. So I kind of wanted it to look just like this, and it's turned out really good. I added detail to it wherever I could, and like I said, it turned out really good. So with the exception of one thing, guys, that's the marker lights here. You can't really tell because of the glare from the lights here, but typical trailer, you'd see red on the back and then orange marker lights all the way to the front. And what I did that I kind of regret was, instead of using actual red LED bulbs and orange LED bulbs, I just used white, because I didn't have any red or orange in my, or I was low on them, and I didn't want to wait the 3 months for them to show up from China. So, which is where I buy kind of everything like that off eBay. So instead I painted these white bulbs with Tamiya clear red and then Tamiya clear orange, and you can kind of see the white bleeding through a little bit. Like I said, you can't really see it that well in this video, but trust me, it's not as nice. I think if I would have used some actual red bulbs, they would have probably popped a little more. So other than that, I mean, everything else went together really good, and there's no change in that now. So everything's all wired together. Which was the first thing I did, and pulled these boards off. All the wiring's done. Everything's kind of run in parallel to a little box, which I have here, and I'll show you guys here what I use to connect the lights to. Alright guys, here's the bottom side of the trailer. That's the green box I was talking about. I've just got it Velcroed, which works really good. Fits really nice between the rails here of this trailer, and you can kind of see there's the on-off switch right there. So got a little bit of weight to it, but the Velcro holds it pretty good. and 3 AA's, so that's a sufficient amount of power to run these kinds of lights or any kind of lights. So this is what they look like. I thought I'd show you guys if you ever want to pick these things up. Walmart, usually the shelves are just stocked with these things Christmas time. Dirt cheap. Look at that, $2.98 Canadian. I mean, I got like a dozen of these things because you can use them for all kinds of things, really. So basically, this is what they are. Just like a box like that with these little LED lights on a string. So all I did was chop this end off here, and I mean, works really good as a little battery pack. So could probably be waterproofed easy enough. But anyway, guys, that's the little power source right there for my light. So I'll flip this thing back over and we'll keep on going. All right, continuing on, we got these little cross members here I just made out of balsa wood and then painted them semi-gloss black and then just crazy glued them on, which I think gives it a nice little scale look to support all the weight that typically these dolly legs see. So those turned out pretty good. And then the little crankshaft and the handle that I made, you can see in the last video. I just crazy glued that as well to the dolly legs, so that turned out pretty good. So a nice little simple upgrade is this reflective tape. And the interesting thing, guys, is that you can probably buy this stuff easy enough too, buying a little decal sheet. But instead, I just printed these off the internet. I laminated them with some box tape, cut them out, and then just glued them on with some really strong glue sticks. So save yourself a few bucks. Pain in the ass though, compared to peeling off a sticker and running it on, but turned out pretty good. Get a straight ruler so you're not all wonky, but those turned out pretty good as well. And you can make as many as you like. And then the last thing that I did here is this, probably my favorite of all. Probably put about 6-7 hours into that thing. It's a little aluminum storage box that you see on so many trailers. Now I will mention you could probably buy something like this. I mean, not probably, you can. I think the company's called Lezu or Lezu, I'm not too sure, but they make a really nice aluminum storage box, which is probably a heck of a lot nicer than this. But I didn't want to spend the 80 bucks or the 100 bucks to get one of those, and I thought I'd just make my own with the stuff I had laying around. I had some checker plate RC four-wheel drive stuff. I had a couple of dollhouse miniature hinges, and then some styrene, so I thought I'd give it a go. And it turned out pretty good. So it's got a little functional door here as well. And I've just added this piece of styrene so that when it closes, it's kind of got a snug fit. And that way it doesn't have a wobbly door. And here he's got his little straps in there. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the trailer. Had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys find some of this stuff informative, useful for your own builds. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. And like I said, stay tuned for the build footage to see how it all went together. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
That they just released, and their products, they just released their products in the UK and in Canada and in Australia.
said his government is
My son and daughter have been very good, and I've been very good to them. And I delve out a few bucks once in a while, and they go, "Thanks, Dad," and then they go. Anyway. We've got to know each other over the years now, with Peter LaSalle, his producer, who's...
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Take a look at that. Mr. Worms, the legend that is Don Rickles, everybody.
It's all the same. It really... Bob Newhart's my dear friend, you know. Right. So we go to his house every... You know, the seating here, that was quite a thing in those days. And look how you came back. You came back and now you're a millionaire, and you go every night. They don't...
Why has there not been an email segment on the show? Let me tell you why, because it gives more time to my first guest. That's why, who is a legend, an American comedy legend.
Making sure that they're going to vote early or they're going to do mail-in voting so that they can get it done as safely as possible, but still get their voice counted.
They say employees are now being screened and case and contact management is being carried out. Anyone identified as cases or close contacts has been told to self-isolate. Fraser Health first received a positive lab test on October 8th from an employee of the facility. Staff members at 2 long-term care homes in the Fraser Valley have also tested positive. Rapid response teams are